I'm Sami. Welcome. This is your SHAKTIBARRE Express. 30 minutes of movement, packed strong. You're strong. This is gonna be great. Yeah, superstar. Okay. I've got Rachel over here to my right in the lovely purple full outfit. Rachel will be taking things less props, or rather maybe less weights, no weights. Taking these a little bit gentler, but still moving strongly today. I will be navigating in the middle for you. I've got 2-pound weights in front of me. Jasmine off to my left in these amazing bike shorts, striking a pose. We'll be taking things with some heavier weights, finding some ways to elevate her challenge that works well for her. So we've got 3 options for you. On your feet to start, give yourself a few breaths to really bring yourself in with your intention for your practice. You've got this 30 minutes carved out for you. How are you gonna spend it? Hands can be on your body like Rachel, maybe like Jasmine. Your eyes can be open or closed, whatever feels safest and most accessible for you in the moment to allow you to connect. Give yourself a deep breath. And an exhale. Let's try 2 more just like that. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more, inhale. Long, slow exhale. On your inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. You reach your arms forward to get there. That's why I like to lengthen through my back. Give your hips a sway side to side. You can rock into your feet side to side also. Maybe wiggle your toes if that helps you feel more grounded into the floor or your mat. Fingertips can be on a block or maybe a little bit higher up if they're just dangling underneath your shoulders. Let's do a roll up to stand for a moment. Press into your feet, side tuck into your hips. Shoulders eventually come up over to your hips. Then your chin lifts, head stacks, shoulders release. Got another reach up. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Good. This time a lift halfway, flat back. Lengthen through the top of your head. Pause. Really feel the length through your sit bones also. Exhale, hands down. Step back to your plank. Hang out in your plank. It can be knees down. Your fingers, wherever you're at, spread super wide. Press into your fingertips. Try to take the pressure out of your wrists. Think about length through the top of your head. We're here 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Really strong. Inhale. You got it. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. Downward facing dog on your exhale. You can tuck your toes. A little bit of a hip pedal, or rather heel pedal. That's what I was going for. Heel pedal. Stretching the backs of your legs. Knee bends while the other one straightens. Press into your fingertips. Try not to put the weight into the heels of your hands. Few more. You got 2 and 1. On your inhale, lift your heels, slight bend to your knees. Take a walk, top of your mat, forward folds. Good. Reverse swan dive, arms out wide. Come on up, hands overhead. Good. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, hands to your mat. Step back, can be knees down. 1 breath in your plank or modified. Good. This time we lower down, chest to the floor, elbows to your sides. Exhale, untuck your toes. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, can be through tabletop, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, heels come up, slight bend in your knees. You can take a couple of hops, walks, top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Bring it up. Good. Exhale, release your arms down to your side. Grab onto your weights if you're using them. Beautiful. All right, in neutral stance, soften to your knees. Bring your palms in to face each other, elbows into your side. Push forward. Rotate your palms down. Open your arms out to a T shape. We'll go through that. In, reach forward, press, open out. Elbows in, palms, hands in. Reach forward, open out. Yeah, great. So keep this going. Let's do about 45 seconds. I want you to feel the strength as your arms reach in front, whether you got weights in your hands or not. Sending the energy forward, and then a squeeze between your shoulder blades as you open your arms out to the side into this T shape. Try to make sure you're not swinging forward into your chest either. We want to stay centered over our heels and our ankles. Yeah, good. Now for me, I haven't been moving quite so much regularly, so I'm going to put my weights down for a moment, listening to my body. We're going to keep this going. About 15 more seconds. Notice if your shoulders kind of squeeze up in towards your earlobes. Pull your shoulder blades down your back. What's coming up for you as you're feeling challenged in your arms? You know what I just noticed? As we open out, there's enough height above my hands and theirs for me to pass over their arms without us having to stagger. What's coming up for you? Even if it's a silly moment of observation like that, what's coming up for you? Next time you bring your arms out to the side, we pause, keep your elbows straight, rotate your palms up and lower, up and lower. You can add a gentle pulse in your knees if you'd like. Pulse, pulse. I heard some, what was that over there, Rachel? You're like, oh. Now keeping elbows really straight if we can. Rotate, rotate. I'm gonna bring my weights back. So let's do 30 seconds. 30 more seconds, rotate. Rotate, really send the energy out to your knuckles or your fingertips if you're holding on with your thumb and you feel comfortable doing so and you're not gonna drop your weights. Rotate, rotate. We're not gonna be done with arms out to the side after this, so stay with me, budget your energy. Okay, for 4, for 3, for 2, palms face up, slight bend in your elbows now, we lift up, lift up, lift up, good. You can use some breaths out through your mouth this time. Make sure you don't get lightheaded along the way. I'm gonna put my weights down, we're gonna keep this going. Keep it going. 20 seconds, lift. Can you keep your chin parallel to the ground? Think about the lift up through the top of your head as you're sending your energy up while you're staying anchored in your feet. You can move a little bit around your space if you need to. Some dances forward and back, side to side. Try to keep your mind off of how much your shoulders are probably burning for the last 5 seconds. You got it. 5, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms come down for a moment. Step your right foot back. Bring your weights with you if you're using them. Slight hinge forward. Actually, just kidding. Chest stays lifted. Little bend in your knees. Palms face forward for bicep curls. Keeping your front foot forward, moving up and down. So we go ahead, lower. Let's squeeze as we press and extend through our knees. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. So we'll start off at this pace together so we can feel anchored and balanced in our feet. You can pick up the pace at any point. Maybe the music inspires you to move a little bit faster. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lower. Good. Could be these nice strong exhales out of your mouth. And lower. Now, watching your knees. If you're moving up and down to your lunge and you're maybe feeling unbalanced, notice if your toes are crossing behind your front heel. You want to make sure that your foot is as wide, feet are on separate tracks basically. Or if you're lowering into your knees and you're losing sight of your front toes, try to keep yourself centered, bend through your knees. So we're moving straight up and down like we got a pole running through us. Let's try a couple more seconds, up and lower, good. Next time you bend down into a lunge, we're gonna do a little bit of a hinge forward. Palms face each other. Rest your left hand, so the leg that's in front, on your hip. Rows with one arm. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. So I'm choosing to do this, suggesting this first, so you can get this up and in movement in your shoulder blade. Prepping your back to hold your elbow up so we can get into tricep kickbacks really effectively. A few more, 3, 2, good. Hold your elbow up, swinging your hand or squeezing your hand back rather, tricep kickbacks. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. So notice if your chin starts to kind of tuck into your chest while you're hinged forward, whether it's in this anchored, centered position like Rachel, or you've got your right foot back, like me and Jasmine here. Squeeze, release. Few more kickbacks, and we're taking what I like to call a kickback kind of reach. Rather than a swing back, we're gonna hold our hand pretty much elevated and then just bend and extend through our elbow. So, hand stays back on your next movement. Think about trying to tap a button behind you with your knuckles. Reach, reach, reach. So elbow pretty much stays elevated. We're not swinging our hand forward in line with our shoulder or with our elbow. We're trying to stay lifted, reach. A few more, then we're switching sides. 3, 2, 1, come on up, switch feet if you've had one leg in a lunge, back into your curls. So from your lowering, we squeeze to lift and lower. Good, lift, lower. Big press into your front foot too. Don't forget it's there also to help you stay anchored and help you through this movement. Lower, good. If you're feeling balanced enough in this moment, maybe you soften your gaze rather than thinking about everything around you right now. You're giving yourself that moment to really feel your curl really intensely in your biceps, be anchoring into your feet, your knees working out with you, your muscles, everything here, interconnected. Really bring you energy. Good. A few more. 3, 2, good. 1, with your back knee extended, slight hinge forward, little bend in your front knee, unilateral row. Lift up and lower. Reach. Good. Reaching up with the back side of your elbow up towards the sky, and then back down towards the ground with your knuckles or your fingertips. Pull, release. Next time you exhale and you pull your elbow up, let's hold here, tricep kickbacks. Kick, release, kick, squeeze. So you should be feeling that wonderful squeeze, upper back part of your arm. Squeeze and then slow release in. We're not trying to swing forward to our shoulder or back. Try to keep your collarbone wide and open and braced. Shoulders hanging out in the same spot. All the way through this movement. Next time you exhale, hand stays back. We go for our tricep reach. Reach. Think about a button. It's just lightly pressed on your knuckles as you release into the bend. Then you're trying to press into the button to turn on a light or music, party lights, I don't know. Party lights, reach, reach. Really extend through your elbows, back, back. It's more about going back rather than forward and back with your hand. It's all back, back. 3, you got 2, beautiful, 1. Oh, weights can go down. Heading into your wide second. You can give a couple of wiggle through your hips. Turn your toes out. Let's go sideways so we're not hitting the dirt with our feet. Heels in, toes turn out, feet are wider than your shoulders and your hips. Full plie, we're going down and up. Down and up. Full extension through your knees. So option where you'd like your hands to land. For me, I tend to set them on my hips so I can notice if I'm falling forward into my chest and lower abdominals and into my low back. It's not really a tuck that we're going for, just more of bringing things into neutral, so we're nicely braced. Moving up and down. Now, if inner thighs are fairly tight and somewhat restricting you from lowering down further, you can lean your entire body slightly forward, but try not to let this happen just in your low back. We were doing a little bit of a booty pop. Time and a place for that, not right now. All right, lowering down and up. Big exhale as you press up. Good. Few more full ranges of motion. Jasmine's got weights in her hands to add resistance. Change your range of motion in terms of how low you go with your hips. Maybe we're staying more up here. That's great. Feel the full extension in your knees. We're going to do 2 pulses at the bottom and a full extension up. So follow me down. Go down, 2, full press up. Down, 2, full press up. Lower, 2, full press up. Good. And up. Let's try about 45 seconds. Lift. Good. Lower, lower, lift. Great time. Maybe hands come onto your body, your core, as you're feeling into what maybe could be like a meditative, repetitive moment. It's a little bit rhythmic, right? So going through this, so it allows your mind to be a little bit more freed up. Maybe to float along. Try not to force it in any particular direction or allow it to go too far outside of your mat. Here and the right now. Good. A few more. Let's try one more round. Pulse. Pulse. Come on up. We're staying down in our plie squat. Side to side steps, almost as if we were going into a curtsy lunge. So left foot crosses behind and then open back up, alternating to the other side. Cross and open. cross, and open. Good. So option here would be, if you need to take things a little bit easier, you can come up in between to extend through the knees before you come back down and cross. Or you're staying low in your knees and your hips as you go side to side. Landing so softly with your feet, but strongly anchored. Side to side, good. We're doing about 10 more seconds in our side to side steps. And then we're staying in a curtsy lunge and pulsing, really packing in for our legs. You're doing so great. How are these 30 minutes going for you so far? How are you feeling about setting this time aside for yourself to move? What words coming to mind for you? I'm not going to say anything, not to guide your mind in a particular direction. But first thing, word association that's coming up for your movement. Good. Next time you step your right foot out and cross your left foot back, stay. Curtsy pulse. Pulse. Front toes turned outward. We don't want to go too far. If your knee is feeling really forced and wants to cross in line with your big toe, rotate your toes in a little bit closer to neutral. Pulse. Pulse. Good. A few more pulses, then we're staying low and holding. Just 5 seconds to hold. Good. Ready? Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2. Step out wide, cross other side. Curtsy lunge. Pulse. 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 See if you can keep your chest somewhat lifted. We don't have to go too high, not necessarily stacking shoulders over hips, but try to avoid being way forward into a fold in an L shape. More of a 45-degree angle or further up. Pulse. Great. Jasmine's got a heel raise. If you're feeling great with your balance, you can even use a wall or a chair if something is nearby, or a tree. A few more. 3, we're going to hold it. 2, 5 seconds. Yes, big breath in. Exhale, lift. Good. Neutral stance. Let's stagger a moment, because I know this one we might clunk into each other. For glutes and hamstrings, a hinge forward. You can use this with or without weights. Leg comes behind you, hips spread off like a warrior 3. Squeeze, come on up, and do a side leg, open. Foot comes back down. We lower forward. We come back up. Leg goes out to the side. So your foot that's moving is hovering pretty much all the time. Now you can have those moments in between where your toe taps down to level out your hips before you do a side raise, right? And we don't have to swing our leg way high. We're not looking for inner thigh to be parallel to the ground. You're looking for a sensation in the side of your hip to go along with you here. We're forward. Press up, leg out to the side. Now you can add something here if you like. I see Jasmine's got weights that she's using. She's adding a fly in there, which is great. She's adding upper body work. You can also do a knee crunch up before you bring your leg out to the side if you want a little more full abdominal work. I know we are working our core and stabilizing. Next time you bring your leg out to the side, let's hang out there and pulse. Lift. Lift. Now see if you can keep your toes flexed, meaning going for that right angle in the top of your foot, toes pulling back, and you're driving through your heel rather than pointing through your toes. Lift. Lift. Your toes are facing forward in the same direction as your eyes right now. Maybe looking at us. Hey. Hey. Good. 3, 2, switch sides. Your foot comes down. Now this side's probably going to be pretty tired. It's going to stabilize us though as we reach forward. Press up. Maybe your knee comes up. And then you can do a side leg raise, or we're sticking with our drop forward. Now we don't have to go super far with our chest. We don't have to go super far with our leg. It's enough where the toes, the feet come off the floor to cause our standing leg into stabilization, right? So we could just do a little lift. That could be enough, and a press into your foot to squeeze back up. And our side raise, you can use something to balance with. So anything goes as long as we are looking at or focusing on sensation over what does this have to look like. Sensation over shape. A few more. Forward. And out to the side. So intentional. I love how intentional both Rachel and Jasmine are moving. We're on uneven ground right now. This is challenging in and of itself. We're on a tilt. down into the water. If we fell over, maybe to roll into the water, who knows? What's that? Little cool down. Whew. Okay, next time your leg comes out to the side, we pulse out, out. And there's gonna be a difference in your sides too. My right foot and ankle got a little bit of weakness in there. I actually just found out yesterday I might have arthritis in my foot. Fabulous. Yeah, okay. So we make one complete picture, right and left side. So for me, my right side has actually been a little bit more challenging lately. So focus on the press into all four corners of your feet. You got it. You got it. Make noises. Sing. Whatever works. 3, 2, 1. Both feet down. Yes. Yes. Okay, let's get onto our seats. We're actually going all the way down onto our back. Actually, just kidding. We were standing, moving a little bit. Let's give ourselves a couple of moments. High and low boat to start, and then we'll go into what I had planned. Little improv moment. And it's a little harder because we're leaning back already. So, knees slightly bent, thighs slightly into your chest. Extend your knees, legs forward. Doesn't have to be entirely straight, right? Lean your chest back and lift up. Good. Leaning back and lift up. Good. So Rachel's bringing her hands in to support her thighs as she comes back up, which is great. We've got options also of toes being down before you lift and lean back. You can also at any point bring your fingertips behind you, squeeze your elbows in though. It's a little bit of support as you lean back and up. You can have a pillow at your low back if you need also. Knees, I would love it if you can focus on having your knees fairly close to one another. It's going to challenge you, especially if you're trying to extend your legs fully straight forward. Good. Couple more. 10 seconds worth, whatever your pace is right now. Exactly, Jasmine. Good. 1. Nice. Let's come onto our backs. Onto our backs. Onto our backs. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay. Watch what's going on here before cranking your neck side to side. We're doing a single-sided dead bug with some resistance. Legs come up into a tabletop. Right hand to the top of your right thigh. Your left arm and left leg are the ones that are moving. Your head's on the floor. Extend your left arm and left leg. Press your hand into your right thigh and come back up. We're doing it one side, about 15 to 20 seconds. And you're probably like, there's no weights involved. We're not moving very far. The resistance of your hand into your thigh and your thigh pressing back. If you're not feeling this, right away, push harder. Exhale more. Brace yourself more. Push your low back into the ground. Lengthen through your spine. Good. Try one more on this side and then we'll switch. Yeah, good. All right, second side. Arm, leg moves. And back to center. Now, we don't have to go quite so far with our arm overhead. We don't have to go quite so parallel to the ground with our leg. We can go a little bit more angled up towards the sky or ceiling. Back to center. And then reach. Oh, yes. Couple more. Big exhales when you reach. One more. Good. All right. Quick hug. Knees into your chest. We're going right back into some more abdominal work on our back. Let's go ahead. Maybe extend your legs long or keep them at a slight bend. Palms, fingers interlaced, flip your palms up towards the sky. Let's lift our head and shoulders off the ground with a little bit of a pulse. And lower. Lift and lower. So chin can be slightly into your chest. Try not to look at your navel or your thighs. Look a little bit past your toes. You don't even have to go all the way up to the ceiling. I'd prefer it to be a little bit of an angle. Reach and lower. Reach and lower. Option here also can be to open your legs out into a V shape. And rather than pressing up, pressing a little bit more forward between your thighs. Forward between your thighs. Good. About 15 more seconds. Are we breathing? I hear no breathing happening. Are you breathing at home? I should be able to hear you even post-recording. I should be able to feel the universe sending your breath my way. I hope you brush your teeth. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Big exhales when you lift up. Don't hold on to your breath when it gets hard. Let it go. Let it go. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Knees, thighs in. Feet come down to the ground. We're finishing up with supine glute bridge work. Make sure your ponytails, if you've got one, out of the way. I know I gotta shift my... Anchor your feet into the ground, hip width distance, toes are neutral, facing forward. Hands, shoulders into the ground. Squeeze a little bit of a tuck, then lift your hips off the ground. Staying braced at the top to begin. Now you can hang out here. You have an option. If you need to put alignment here, you can place a block narrow side if you have one at home, or a pillow between your thighs or your knees, rather than letting your knees collapse outward. If you're choosing to stay there, stay there. This next movement would mean no prop. Let's do some marches. One leg comes off the ground, knee stays bent, thigh a little bit into your chest. Place your foot down. Second side, we're alternating side to side. Your pace. Now, this on Instagram a couple of weeks ago, I think, depending on the time of you watching this, but in my time right now, as we start to get tired in our glute bridges, our glutes start to release, our low back arches, and our chest tends to puff up to the sky. As soon as you start to feel that pinching in your low back and you're missing the feeling in your booty, reset. You can lower your hips down to the ground, or maybe bring your hands right around your rib cage. Look for that little neutral, that connection in between your rib cage. Good. Lift and lower. We're gonna lift our leg up and hold, whichever side, doesn't matter, we pulse, lift, lift. So rather than thinking about your hips lifting you, think about your foot grounding you and allowing you to squeeze and press up. Press, press. Love the crossover that Rachel's got going on here with ankle over thigh. That can alleviate some things for you. Jasmine's been holding a weight in front of her face this whole time. Please don't drop it. That's extra incentive to pay attention, right? Good. A few more. It's just 3 pounds worth of damage, maybe. Go ahead. Switch sides. Whew. We pulse. Pulse. We can also use our elbows, triceps pressed into the ground. Also make sure your shoulders are pressing too for added leverage. Press. Press. It's that opposing force, the press, to allow you to lift, lift. Science. Yeah. 10 more seconds. Yeah, good. We've got 3. Make noises if you want. 2, it's your movement, your workout practice. 1, both feet down, slow release, 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way down to your hips. You can do a gentle swing of your knees side to side. You can bring your feet a little bit wider and go for that swing. This internal and external rotation happening in your hips can help with a little bit of a low back release also. Continue through your own stretching, your own movement. My suggestion and what I'm about to do, figure 4 stretch. Your feet can be down, lifted if that helps. Keep your foot flexed. You should not see the bottom of your foot when you do a figure 4 stretch. And a release and switch. You're also more than welcome to, if you're not already, to be in a full rested, supported posture. It can be entirely on your back. You can be on your seat, in a chair. Give yourself those moments to breathe, to really soak up all that you carved out for yourself in the last 30 minutes. You're welcome to stay in whichever supported resting posture that you're in for as long as you'd like. We'll give you a moment to pause the video if you'd prefer. I encourage my friends here to eventually make their way up to a seat. Jasmine was there already. And a few breaths. Just gentle. Your eyes never have to be closed in order to tune in. It could be a soft gaze, maybe keeping your eyes open aids in you feeling more connected. Let's take a final deep breath in together. And exhale gently. If your eyes were closed or you had a softened gaze, lift your gaze. Hey, you did such a wonderful job. Thank you for being here with Rachel, with Jasmine, and myself, Sami, for the last 30 minutes for SHAKTIBARRE Express. I look forward to seeing you again soon.